Hey guys, Far here from TV. So in the last video, we asked you if you wanted to see a review of the KZ ZS3s, and well, the response was overwhelming to say the least. Yeah. So anyways, we have the KZ ZS3s, and for comparison's sake, we have the KZ AS10s as well. So these retail for about 35 ringgit locally, and these retail for about 180 ringgit if you get them direct from China, or about 220 ringgit if you get them locally. Is this actually worth 6 times more than this? Welcome to Chi-Fi. First of all, let's talk about the design of the KZ ZS3s. It's composed mainly of plastic, rubber, and it comes with a detachable cable, which is excellent, right? Usually I take these, shove them in my bag, and a year later, it's still running well. My main complaint would actually have to be the actual design of the earbuds. So they're CIEM-ish. It means that it really depends on the type of ear that you have and the size of your ears, whether it fits well. And in my case, the left's fine, but on the right, it actually presses a little bit too much against my ear. So after long sessions, it gets a little bit fatiguing. It also comes with this memory wire, which is really annoying because it's stiff and doesn't conform well around my ear. But other than that, build quality is great. That's the bad stuff out of the way, now the good. For this round of testing, I used my shit stack, which is the Modi 2 DAC paired with the Magni 3 amp. So the ZS3 actually uses a singular 8mm dynamic driver in each ear, but damn does it sound really good, especially at its price point. The highs go high without being too sharp, the mids lean slightly to the warmer side, but it's able to sound natural, yet there's a slight heft to the actual vocals, which makes it really satisfying to my ears. The bass is very controlled, it's fast when you need it to be, but it's never overly emphasized up to a point where it drowns out too much of the other frequencies. Overall, to me, where it really shines is the audio separation. To hear the layers in music is great, and where I find the most enjoyment on these. The only real downside to me is actually the soundstage. So it sits right on your ears and doesn't actually extend wide. Now let's talk about the AS10s. So design-wise, I would have to say that the KZ ZS3s actually look better, but the AS10s actually fit better on my ears. It uses a braided cable, which is much nicer, but it still terminates on this horrible memory wire, which, they really should remove. But I bought these just a few months after and did then the same treatment. Shove them in the bag and it's still holding up fine. The KZ ZS3 uses dynamic drivers, while the AS10 uses balanced armature drivers. And let us know in the comments down below if you want a dedicated video on this topic. And secondly, the AS10 has 5 freaking drivers shoved into each earpiece. So technically speaking, right, when there are different drivers, they're supposed to hone in specifically to different frequencies. And in theory, it's supposed to give you a better sound. But it's a little bit more than that. It really depends on the audio engineering, whether it has that special sauce that makes it, really good. But in this case, it's okay. So when I was listening to the AS10s, I felt that it didn't provide the full range of frequencies fluidly, and at times it felt quite choppy. And do I have scientific evidence to support this? No, but it felt underwhelming, it felt bland. But then it hit me, why the hell am I listening to Spotify right now? I quickly switched to my higher quality local files, and well damn, this sound really good. So the sub bass is a class above, the mid bass, it fits in the nice and natural category. The vocals are amazing, if the recording is good enough, but the highs tend to overreach, and it gets a little bit too bright and a little bit too sharp. Soundstage is slightly better than ZS3s, but it's not that far off. For me, I really get to appreciate more string instruments on these. I could really discover the smaller, finer details in music that's usually not apparent on less capable pairs of earphones. To sum it up, the KZ ZS3 or the AS10? Well, KZ ZS3 for sure. It sounds hella good, it's dirt cheap, and it just works well for the average listener. The AS10s are a cut above, but you need higher resolution files. The sharpness does get a little bit fatiguing, so I find that it's not a sound signature that a lot of people would most probably appreciate compared to the KZ ZS3s. So yeah, that's all from me. Stay tuned for the next video where we're going to review a Malaysian brand of earphones. As always, like this video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.